Hello, it's Renee again from the Let's Get Real channel. This is not going to be a very popular video among all the Patriots out there. But let me tell you something if you don't know your history. Okay? Who won the American Revolution? Let's talk about that for a second. Now, the Patriots and, all the teachers in your grade school, they might want to tell you that, yes, these colonists rose up against the King of England, okay, and demanded their freedom from England. Okay, now England at the time had the most powerful, most well-funded, most disciplined army on the face of the earth at the time. They invaded the colonists, the United States. Okay, now we are led to believe that a bunch of scruffian, scallywag colonists, Minutemen, jumped out of their beds with their old musket rifles and came together and went out there and defeated the British just out of pure will. Okay, they took it, and people were proud of that. Well, here's the real story, man. The French won the American Revolution. The French provided money, troops, armament, naval support, you name it. They provided it to the colonists. It was the French that turned the tide of the war. They won the American Revolution. As a matter of fact, when the British were finally defeated, the British tried to surrender to the French. And the French said, no, you're surrender to the colonists. If it hadn't been for the French and the money they provided and the troops they provided and all the support they provided, we would have lost the American Revolution. Point blank. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? That's just the way it was. There was no money. There was no organization. I mean, there was no discipline. There was no, actual army that could match the British, okay? Let alone a bunch of colonists that are just jumping out of their bed saying, okay, let's go out and fight. That's not how it happened. Also, and I think this is completely disrespectful, the Native American is not is not mentioned very much in their roles of what they did in the American Revolution. I mean, they're mentioned, but they did a whole shitload more than what they're given credit for. The Native Americans fighting on behalf of the colonists were sneaky. They fought a guerrilla warfare. They did a whole bunch of big raids on the British, and they helped also change the tide of the war, but they're not given that credit, and basically we want to romanticize the whole American Revolution like, oh yeah, George Washington led us to victory, and you had Paul Revere saying, hey, the British are coming, and our flag was still there, and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. None of that mattered, because if it wasn't for the French and the support of the Native Americans, the British would have completely handed our asses to us. The British would have slapped us down, no problem. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The British would have fucking gave us an ass whipping, and it would have been over, and this would not be the United States of America. This would be, England, or it would be the English, it would be the American colonies of England or something else, but we would not be the United States of America right now if it wasn't for outside influences. Now that's the truth, okay? That's real, okay? A lot of people don't want to believe that, but that's how history is. That's what it was. And for some people, that's a hard one to choke down. But believe it or not, we, the people, did not defeat the British. The French defeated the British. Okay? They were the second most powerful army at the time also. Alright? So, just thought you might want to know. It's time to get real. Research everything before you talk shit. I'm out.